Good evening and welcome to the latest in our series of MPA debates. This evening we will be focusing on the topic of audit fees and in particular looking at whether gender makes a difference to the level at which audit fees are set. Existing literature indicates that audit fees are a function of audit staff effort, audit staff labour costs and client risk. As the audit fee is usually determined before the audit engagement, it is calculated using budgeted hours of each grade of auditing personnel and unit prices. It is also widely accepted that risk assessment can significantly impact the final audit fee. There is limited but growing literature analysing the relationship between gender and audit fees. As more and more women are entering the workforce and taking prominent roles as audit partners, audit committee chairs, and CEOs of client companies, it is relevant to look at what impacts that might have on audit fee setting for the audit profession. With these points in mind, our debate topic this evening is this House believes that females command the best audit fee deal. Nick will be speaking for the motion. Welcome, Nick. And Dennis will be speaking against the motion. Welcome, Dennis. Our panel for this evening consists of Shane, Dipti and Phoebe. So, without further ado, Nick, please give the case for.
Thank you, Your Honour. So female audit partners are able to command the best audit fee for their firms. Key reasons for this are that they are more diligent and have a lower tolerance to risk, while there is a perception amongst their clients that they will receive a higher quality of audit from a female audit engagement partner. A sample of 715 NASDAQ OMX listed companies from Denmark, Finland and Sweden, where the engagement partner's name is included in the audit report, have shown that those whose audits were conducted by a female audit engagement partner have paid a higher audit fee for their audit. Although the study was only conducted on a small sample and it is uncertain as to what extent the results apply in other settings, I still feel that this is a relevant issue for the audit profession. So why is this? Well, research suggests that women are more risk adverse than males, so therefore it is reasonable to expect that when a company engages a female auditor, they are expecting a higher level of care to be taken in the approach to the audit, with a lower tolerance to risk and a lower level of materiality. This may be seen by companies as a premium level of service, and so they are willing to pay a higher price for a female audit engagement partner. So therefore, Your Honour, I would argue that female audit engagement partners are able to command a higher price due to perceptions that the client will receive a more thorough report.
Interesting. Thanks, Nick. So over to Dennis now for the case against.
Thanks, Sue. In 2012, Wei Li and Dan Shi found two key points. Point 1. Female auditors charge more than male auditors. This paper argues that it's because female auditors are risk averse, so they will spend more time and labor on the audit engagement. Audit fees are charged on time and labor. Point 2. The quality is not improved, but audit fees increase. But the limitation of this paper is that it is difficult to control the effect of audit group on audit individual. Yes, female auditors command a higher price, but this is to compensate for the actual work performed. Research shows that female auditors' diligence and a higher level of preparation are the reasons for why they spend more time on an audit engagement. But is this a good deal for the audit firm? I don't think so. This will lower the profit margin of the audit firm. Thank you, Sue.
Okay. So, over to our panel.
Question. Do you think that female auditors who charge higher audit fees can affect the audit quality? Does gender really matter here? Because as far as I am concerned, it's firm size, auditors tenure, non-audit service, client importance, corporate governance that will have impacts on the audit fees, not the gender.
Thanks, Shane. Well, that might be true, but the fact that women have a lower approach to risk and are more likely to spend more time and labour on the audit project, and as such are more likely to provide a higher level of audit report.
Yes, but I'm not so convinced that from my perspective, what you said could just be a stigma. I think the probable reason is that compared with male auditors, female auditors are more risk averse. You're definitely right that they will spend more time and labor into the work, resulting in a higher audit fee. However, that does not mean the audit quality will be improved. For example, a male who sets materiality at 10%, while a female would be more cautious and set it at 5%. This means more work for her in terms of audit procedures. But the extra 5% she investigated in might be trivial and a waste of time. So as the audit quality and the audit outcome will still be the same, there will be no change.
Thanks, Shane. Well, it was two women, Sharon Watkins and Cynthia Cooper, who disclosed the two cases of financial scandal at Enron and the telecommunications giant WorldCom, and they both made the cover of the Time magazine as Persons of the Year. Coincidence? I think not.
Dennis, can I just clarify what you mean? So if a male auditor gets paid $30,000 for an audit engagement, but the audit cost is $20,000, he'll get a net profit to the firm of $10,000, whereas a female auditor will get paid $36,000 with an internal cost of $30,000, so the overall profit is $6,000. So the firm is paying more for less profit from the engagement?
Yes, Phoebe, absolutely, you are right. With that logic, a female may bring in more audit fees, but a male may bring in more profit.
So then a follow-up question, Dennis. What impact do you think this will have on female auditors? Are they potentially reducing their market share?
Yes, potentially, as it will develop the stigma that if females aren't going to get engagements to bring fees into the firm, might as well give the partnership to a male.
Well, that's just gender discrimination.
So let's turn now to the Audit Committee argument. Nick?
From the perspective of the audit client, having female representation on the Audit Committee can have a positive influence on the audit fee for the company. A paper published by the University of Nebraska suggests strong female representation on the Audit Committee and as Audit Committee chairs has been shown to reduce the audit fee. Findings indicate that female representation on audit committees increase the integrity of the company and reduce the need for assurance from external auditors. Female chairs have been seen to reduce audit risk through improving the effectiveness of internal controls within the organisation. These factors can have a positive impact on reducing the audit fee. Therefore, having females in governance positions within the organisation can be seen to reduce the inherent and internal control risk, thus reducing the scope of the audit and therefore the fees.
Thanks, Nick. And the Audit Committee argument from your point of view, Dennis?
Yes, thank you, Sue. The study, does female representation on audit committees affect audit fees, states one main point I want to stress. Female representation on audit committees may reduce audit fees. But the limitation of this paper was that the sample for this study was limited to large publicly traded US firms. Female on audit committee may command to pay lower fees, but at what cost? Maybe lower cost will compromise the audit quality as the view that they will have better internal controls is misguided. Lower audit fees are not good from an audit committee perspective. Women on audit committees should mean higher audit fees. This is because the women on audit committees would demand more audit procedures to be performed, which means a higher audit fee. Yes, no one wants to pay more fees, but if it improves the audit quality, companies should be willing to pay for it. Thanks.
Okay, so over to our panel. Views, questions?
So Dennis, all these arguments presented today are based on research conducted in countries like the US, China and Europe. Do you think these findings are applicable in the New Zealand context, considering small to medium businesses are the backbone of this country?
Yes, Phoebe, but more research needs to be done.
Okay, so any further questions from the panel?
Considering I've been quiet all this while, can I ask a question now? This one's for you, Nick. According to the paper titled Does Female Representation on Audit Committees Affect Audit Fees? It said social diversity in terms of gender may lead to reduced within-group communication and increased disagreements and conflicts, which thereby reduces the effectiveness of decision-making groups. So my question is, if there is less effectiveness, how can you state that women on audit committees improve efficiency and effectiveness and bring in less audit fees?
Well, social diversity includes age, ethnicity and gender. Therefore, arguments happen all the time about that, and that does not mean effectiveness and efficiency is compromised.
Well, you're right, but then I don't agree with you on that. Dennis, my question to you. All the studies that have been presented today between the both of you have only shown women on one side of the audit engagement. Has there been any studies on cases or situations where we have women on both the sides of the audit committees and women as the audit partners? Since from your arguments it shows that this could be contradicting in nature, what do you think would happen if such a situation was to come about?
That's a good question. Not to my knowledge, I don't think there are studies that have investigated audit engagement with females on both sides of the audit. If you know any, please let me know.
So if women on audit committees lead to lower fees and women as auditors lead to higher fees, what about the third gender, that is the transgender? That is gender diversity too.
Sorry folks, we'll have to cut it there as we're out of time. So, a final sentence from you, Nick.
Female auditors, higher fees. Female audit committee chairs and female CEOs, lower fees. This is the best audit fee deal.
And a final sentence from you, Dennis.
Women auditors and women on audit committee chairs command lower profit margins. This is the worst audit fee deal.
Okay, and now to our panel to vote with a show of hands. Those for, please raise your hand. Thank you. And how many against? Show your hand. Thank you. Abstentions? Well, there you have it, a hung jury. So you, the audience, will have to make your own minds up. That's all from us tonight. We'll see you again next week on the MPA debates. Good night.